Welcome to the Radiology Vault, an open repository for radiology educational content designed for learners and medical professionals. Presented by the Michigan Medicine Department of Radiology.
Hello, my name is Anil Attili, and this talk is on cardiac MR evaluation of myocardial viability. We shall be using the acronym CMR for cardiac MRI. Let's start with the definition of myocardial viability. Myocardial viability can be defined as dysfunctional myocardium in ischemic heart disease with a potential for functional recovery on restoration of normal blood supply. In other words, myocardial viability implies hypernating or stunned myocardium that improves contractility with subsequent improvement in left ventricular ejection fraction on revascularization. Cardiac MRI using late gadolinium enhancement is a very important tool for evaluation of myocardial viability in clinical practice. The key sequence used for evaluation of myocardial viability is the late gadolinium enhancement sequence, also known as the LGE or DE sequence. Gadolinium is an extravascular, extracellular agent that accumulates in regions of infarcted, inflamed, fibrotic, or infiltrated myocardium. The subendocardium is more vulnerable to ischemia. Late gadolinium enhancement that involves the subendocardium in a coronary artery distribution is indicative of a myocardial infarction. The LGE sequence has a high sensitivity for the detection of myocardial infarction due to its superior spatial resolution contrast resolution. The late gadolinium enhancement sequence uses a T1-weighted sequence after a 180-degree inversion pulse, approximately 10 minutes after gadolinium administration. Image data is acquired when signal from normal myocardium is nulled to optimize contrast between bright hyper-enhancing scar tissue and the normal myocardium. Notice the enhancement in the LAD distribution in this particular patient, and it involves a subendocardium indicative of an infarct in the LAD distribution. The transmural extent of late gadolinium enhancement on cardiac MR is a marker of myocardial viability. The more the thickness of the infarct or the greater the transmural extent, the less likely is the segment to recover after revascularization. A landmark study published in the New England Journal of Medicine has shown us, as an observational study in a large group of patients, that the transmural extent is inversely related to the likelihood of functional recovery. In segments which have less than 50% transmural thickness of infarction or scar, recovery is likely, whereas in segments which have more than 50% transmural extent of infarction, there's a less than 10% chance of segmental contractile recovery despite successful revascularization. Less than 25% enhancement is viable, 25 to 50% enhancement is mixed likely viable, and when enhancement is more than 75% to full thickness enhancement, that segment is non-viable. In the range of 50 to 75%, the enhancement, when present, that segment is likely mixed and mostly non-viable. In clinical practice, a segment is classified as viable if wall motion is normal or dysfunction at rest with less than 50% transmural late gadolinium enhancement or scar on cardiac MR. Two patients here. The image on the top left belongs to a patient who has a chronic total occlusion of the left anterior descending coronary artery. Notice the full thickness scarring or late gadolinium enhancement in the apical segments. These segments are non-viable and unlikely to recover function after revascularization. The patient on the bottom left has an area of enhancement in the subendocardium, less than 50% transmural thickness in the basal inferior wall in the RCA distribution. This segment is viable and the patient is likely to recover function of that segment after revascularization. So the transmural extent of late gadolinium enhancement is how we evaluate viability on cardiac MR. If the segment has more than 50% transmural thickness of enhancement, it's likely non-viable, whereas less than 50% enhancement is likely viable. And functional recovery is likely in those segments which have less than 50% transmural enhancement or thickness of myocardial infarct scar. Let's look at some cases from clinical practice to reinforce these findings. This case, case number 1, belongs to a 69-year-old man who presents with heart failure. There's 3-vessel obstructive coronary artery disease on catheter angiography. Viability evaluation was requested with a view to coronary artery bypass grafting. Notice the left ventricular function is severely decreased. There's global hyperkinesis. Wall motion abnormalities are slightly greater in the anterior wall, but nevertheless they're global in the context of 3-vessel coronary artery disease. The left ventricular ejection fraction was quantified at 30%. The regional wall motion abnormality is slightly greater in the anterior wall, as we can see on the two-chamber view and the short axis view. Late gadolinium enhancement images do not show any enhancement. Notice the myocardium is well nulled. There are no bright enhancing areas. All this tells us that the myocardium is viable. It's likely hibernating myocardium, and functional recovery is likely. Short axis images from the base to the apex, also showing the absence of late gadolinium enhancement or absence of infarction in a patient with myocardial dysfunction, LV ejection fraction of 30%, and 3-vessel obstructive coronary artery disease. This patient was revascularized for approximately 6 weeks after the cardiac MR. A 3-vessel coronary artery bypass graft, Lima to LAD, saphenous vein graft to OM, and a further saphenous vein graft to the PDA were performed. His postoperative course was uneventful. He was discharged on guideline-directed medical therapy. And approximately 2.5 years after the bypass graft, the LV ejection fraction has improved to 50%, as can be seen on this echocardiogram, which is routinely performed in patients for follow-up after bypass grafting or revascularization. The patient is asymptomatic on guideline-directed therapy and is doing well clinically. No enhancement, completely viable myocardium, preserved viability, and with an ejection fraction of 30% and significant myocardial dysfunctional segments, but no late GET enhancement. The patient underwent a successful coronary artery bypass graft. 3-vessel CAD, successful CABG, as myocardium was all viable. The next case belongs to no LG in this patient, as we can see. Let's go on to the next case. Case number 2 is a 58-year-old man who presents with a 3-day history of chest pain. Also has a past medical history of hypertension, hyperlipidemia, and paroxysmal atrial fibrillation. Cine imaging on the top panel and late gadolinium enhancement on the lower panel. Notice the apical segments are akinetic to near dyskinetic. There's transmural late gadolinium enhancement. That's full thickness late gadolinium enhancement. The apical segments. The apical LAD is non-viable. This was a chronic total occlusion of the LAD, and because of the extensive late gadolinium enhancement and non-viable scarring in the LAD distribution, the patient was not revascularized. There was non-obstructive disease in the circumflex and the right coronary artery. The patient was managed medically with guideline-directed medical therapy. Non-viable myocardium unlikely to recover function after revascularization, hence medical management is more appropriate rather than surgical revascularization or PCI or percutaneous coronary intervention. Case number 3. These images belong to a 71-year-old man with progressive angina. He had 3-vessel obstructive coronary artery disease on catheter angiography. Cine MR, steady-state free precession images in 3-chamber, 4-chamber, and 2-chamber views as shown here. There's global hyperkinesis, however, regional wall motion abnormality is present in the inferior wall of the left ventricle, which is nearly akinetic, while the other segments are severely hyperkinetic. The left ventricular ejection fraction was quantified at 34%. Late gadolinium enhancement images in long axis planes show subendocardial late gadolinium enhancement in the inferior wall of the right ventricle. Notice the transmural extent of late gadolinium enhancement is less than 50%. There's no other enhancement, no other areas of enhancement, no other segments in the left ventricular myocardium show enhancement or infarction. There's only a small area of enhancement or myocardial infarct scar in the inferior wall of the left ventricle. Viable myocardium in the RCA distribution, 3-vessel obstructive coronary artery disease. Overall myocardial viability in all the coronary artery distributions is preserved. No enhancement in the LAD or circumflex coronary distribution. The only scarring that's present is in the inferior wall of the left ventricle in the RCA distribution, and it's less than 50% transmural thickness, hence it is viable. The patient underwent a 3-vessel coronary artery bypass graft. Short axis images show the scarring in the inferior wall of the left ventricle, less than 50% transmural thickness. 3-vessel CABG was performed, Lima to LAD, saphenous vein graft to obtuse marginal branch, and a further saphenous vein graft to the PDA. To summarize, cardiac MRI provides comprehensive evaluation of cardiac morphology, function, and viability in a single examination. Furthermore, it can be combined with stress perfusion MR to provide comprehensive assessment of ischemic heart disease. Cardiac MR is safe and non-ionizing. The late gadolinium enhancement sequence has a high sensitivity for detection of myocardial infarct scar due to its superior spatial resolution and high contrast resolution. particularly in relationship to nuclear medicine techniques. The transmural extent of late gadolinium enhancement is a marker of myocardial viability. A segment is classified as viable if wall motion is normal or dysfunctional at rest, and with less than 50% transmural late gadolinium enhancement scar on cardiac MR. In clinical practice, MR viability testing plays a very important role in decision making in selected patients with ischemic heart disease, notably the category of high risk patients with multivessel coronary artery disease and LV dysfunction. In such patients, if there's extensive myocardial infarct scar that's non viable, a decision may be made to manage these patients medically rather than to revascularize, because the risks of revascularization, the benefit from such procedures may not be very high, and medical management may be more appropriate. Thank you very much.